Welcome to Casa del Cartwright. Come on in. Alright. Hey Candy, I'm Rob Cartwright. You're here in Dade City, Florida at my home. That's Chop Suey, my puppy. I'm gonna give you a little tour around my house real quick and show you where I live. This is where I do all of my thinking. This is where I do all of my calming and settling. This is where I cook. This is my favorite room in the house right now, by far. And then we'll stroll down the hallway. Pantry. Air conditioning. Living room. We've been living here in Dade City for probably about the last year. We moved out here so it's easier for me to find gigs and places to play. I try to make sure I'm constantly playing. TV area. The centerpiece of the living room. The family photo wall. This wall contains pictures of everyone that is important to me. Some of whom you're about to meet. But I love that wall. That wall motivates me right there. And we'll keep on strolling down. Hallway. Dark hallway. See if this light works. Yeah. Alright. Now I'm going to introduce you to the most important person. Well, I got three most important people. This is most important person number one. Aspen, you ready to say hi to the world? This is my son, Aspen Shea.
Hi.
This is my motivation right here, Candy. This little boy right here, it's been me and him for a long time, and it's been a struggle, but it's been awesome. And he keeps me playing music, and he keeps me smiling and laughing, keeps me young, keeps me energetic. You'll see some more of him later on, I'm sure. He's a dancing fool. Anytime music goes down, he gets serious. And then the last room of the house, this is where magic happens right here. This is my room. This is my beautiful girlfriend, Tracy. And this is our baby, Sadie. Sadie Gray is due in August. And this is the third most important person to me. So now that you've met the family and seen the house, I figure we'll stroll back in here in the living room and have a little chit chat. I'm really excited about this opportunity. I really can't wait to get an opportunity to sit down and pick your brain and chat with you and get to really explore ways that I'm going to be able to make this happen. I've been playing music since I was 6 years old. I started playing classical violin in elementary school. I never really took any private lessons, never really had anybody push me to do it. I always just kind of loved music. I always loved singing. My mom sang in church, and my mom raised me and my brother by herself when my dad left. And so music just kind of always bound us together from a very young age. So when I was 6 going on 7, I decided I wanted to take up violin. They were offering violin in the public school that I went to. And I just never stopped. It was really fortunate that I even got to do it, because I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to play violin. And she said, there's no way we can afford a violin. So I was like, okay, I was very settled about it. I went back to school the next day, told my teacher I couldn't do it, and just kind of got over it and came home from school the next day, and my uncle had come home from a garage sale where he had bought a 3/4 size violin for $10, and he was going to have it mounted on his wall. And yeah, I asked him if I could play it, and he said sure, and I never stopped. And that's where kind of like the journey started for me musically, and I just got, as time went on, I just got hungrier and hungrier for more musical experience and more types of music and more ways to express myself. I started writing poetry at a young age. It's common, you come from a broken home, and you try to find ways of expressing yourself and your angst, and so poetry was one of the ways I did that. And I never really realized at that young age that the poetry would end up as lyrics one day, and that I would develop the ability to kind of start putting music with what I do. And so I started playing in some bands, just trying to play around with people, and I started learning guitar, and Then I started getting into really heavy metal and really the most intense musical experiences I could find. I was playing in symphony orchestras. I was 90, 100-piece symphony orchestras, just this huge wall of sound. I thought it was the most intense thing. And then I found heavy metal, and then that was the next like intense thing. And I was just looking for the most immense musical experiences that I could. And it's funny, a lot of crazy stories happen along the way too. I started a heavy metal band about 5 years ago, and that's where this comes from here. All my tattoos are musically related. I only have 3, but I've got Triple Threat, and that's actually a name that was given to me by my band guys, because at that time I was a lead singer, lead guitar player, and violinist in the band. So they were like, man, you're just a triple threat. And then it just kind of stuck. They're like, what up, triple threat? What's up, triple threat? And I was like, okay, all right. Here you go. Here's your triple threat right here. And so then it really stuck, and it's kind of come like a little bit of a trademark for me. And I love it. No, I love it. And I appreciate the guys for it. And then I got my alto clef. Anybody that knows viola knows about some alto clef or some alto clarinet, or, you know, lots of instruments read it from time to time. But when I was in college, I played in the violin studio at the University of South Florida, and I had a really good experience. But again, just wanting to learn something new, I switched my freshman year from the violin studio to the viola studio, and I just fell passionately in love with the viola. This is just like a violin cello hybrid sound that just really appealed to my ear, and I loved it so much I got alto clef tattooed on my arm. So a little bit of backstory behind that. But let's see, what else we have to talk about. I really think that in a situation, if I got to be there and I got to be a part of your show, I really think that, you know, some people would get behind me. I've got a lot of reasons to want this, and most of all, the number one reason is definitely that little boy right there. Yeah, because his mom left us a few years back, and it's just been me and him since then. And I think the number one reason why I want this is so that I can show him that no matter what happens to you in your life, you can always make it. You can always make it. You always push for what you want. Always. And this is what I'm doing for. Okay? It's for us. So that's a little bit about me. You know, I went through a bad breakup, got married when I was young, fell in love at 18, thought I had the world figured out like most of us do, and, you know, got married real young, got done real dirty, like a lot of people do. But you know what? I came out winner. I came out sole custody of my baby boy, and I don't ever have to live a day without him if I don't want to, and that's a blessing from God. So now you know my motivation, and now you know I'm a big sissy. But that's all right. Yeah, laugh it up. But I'm an emotional person, but I'm also fired up about music. And anytime I start getting like that, then I just think about how much I love being on stage, and how much I love connecting to people, how much I love writing songs that convey how a mass amount of people feel. Like there's nothing that can compare to that. There's no drug, there's no substance, there's nothing that compares to the feeling that you get when you know that even just one person is connected to the music that you're playing. It's, you know, you have to know. It's the most unreal thing that there is, and it's really what I live for. I jones for that. And I went through, you know, a large